What if one of the most liberating truths in life is also one of the most uncomfortable? The truth is this: most people are not thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are. They are not analyzing your mistakes. They are not obsessing over your choices. They are not spending their days judging every move you make, because they are too busy thinking about themselves. At first, this realization can feel painful. We all want to feel important. We all want to be noticed. We all hope that someone is paying attention to our struggles, our efforts, and our successes. But the Stoics understood something that many people spend a lifetime trying to learn. The moment you stop living for the attention, approval, and validation of others is the moment you begin to reclaim your freedom. Hello everyone, welcome to the Stoic Hypnosis channel. In this video, we'll explore why so few people truly think about you, why that is actually good news, and how focusing on your own life can unlock a level of peace, confidence, and personal power that most people never experience. Stay until the end, because the final lesson may completely change the way you see yourself and everyone around you. Now, let's get started. Part 1. The illusion that everyone is watching you. There is a quiet burden that many people carry for years without even realizing it. The belief that everyone is paying attention. We worry about what people think when we speak. We worry about how we look when we walk into a room. We worry about what others might say if we fail, make a mistake, or choose a different path in life. And because of this, countless dreams are never pursued. People stay silent when they want to speak. They remain in unhappy situations longer than they should. They hide parts of themselves to avoid criticism or judgment. But here's the surprising truth. Most people are not watching you. They are watching themselves. Think about your own life for a moment. How often do you spend your day analyzing every decision someone else makes? How often do you lie awake at night thinking about another person's embarrassing moment from years ago? Probably never, because, like everyone else, you're occupied with your own concerns, your own problems, and your own insecurities. And so are they. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology gave it a name. They recognized that human beings are naturally absorbed in their own lives. The criticism you fear is often far smaller than you imagine. The judgment you worry about is often temporary, and the spotlight you think is shining on you is mostly an illusion. Yet this illusion controls millions of lives. People sacrifice opportunities because they fear being laughed at. They avoid taking risks because they fear failure in front of others. But consider this. Years from now, most people will not remember your mistakes. In fact, many never noticed them in the first place. The moment you realize that the world is not constantly watching you, something powerful happens. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You stop living for an audience. And for the first time, you begin living for yourself. That is where freedom begins. Part 2. The dangerous addiction to approval. If most people are too busy thinking about themselves to constantly judge you, then why do so many of us spend our lives chasing their approval? Because deep down, we all want to feel accepted. We want to feel valued. We want to feel respected. We want reassurance that we matter. There is nothing wrong with that. The problem begins when our happiness becomes dependent on it. Many people never realize how much control they have handed over to others. A compliment can make their day. A criticism can ruin their week. They adjust their opinions to fit the crowd. They hide their true desires. They make decisions based not on what they truly want, but on what they think will earn praise. Slowly, without noticing, they stop living their own lives. They begin living for an audience. The Stoics warned against this trap. They understood that seeking approval is like chasing a horizon. No matter how far you go, it always remains out of reach. Even if one group accepts you, another will criticize you. Even if one person praises you, another will find fault. You cannot build inner peace on something so unstable. Consider how many opportunities people miss because they are afraid of being judged. How many dreams are abandoned because someone might disapprove. How many talents remain hidden because fear whispers, "What will people think?" But here is the truth that changes everything. The people whose approval you seek are often struggling with their own insecurities. They are worried about their own image, their own mistakes, their own problems, just like you. The day you stop needing everyone's approval is the day you reclaim a piece of your freedom. You begin speaking more honestly. You begin acting more courageously. And you finally realize that self-respect is worth far more than applause, because applause fades, but self-respect stays with you for life. Before we continue, take a moment to reflect. How many decisions in your life were made because you truly wanted them? And how many were made because you wanted someone else's approval? If this message resonates with you, leave the word freedom in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this journey into Stoic wisdom and personal growth, consider subscribing to the channel. Now let's continue, because the next lesson may change the way you think about attention, confidence, and where true power really comes from. Part 3. The more you chase attention, the more you lose yourself. There is a strange paradox in life that many people never notice. The more desperately you seek attention, the less fulfilled you become. At first, attention feels good. A compliment, a few words of praise, the feeling of being noticed. For a moment, it gives you a sense of importance, but that feeling never lasts. Soon, you need more recognition, more validation, more proof that you matter. And before long, your happiness becomes dependent on something you cannot control: the opinions of other people. The Stoics understood that this is a dangerous way to live, because when your sense of worth comes from external attention, you are no longer in charge of your own peace. You become a prisoner of approval. A single compliment lifts you up. A single criticism brings you down. And your emotions begin to rise and fall according to the judgments of strangers. Think about how exhausting that is. To constantly wonder what others think. To constantly compare yourself to people around you. To constantly seek confirmation that you are good enough. Many people spend decades trapped in this cycle. Yet the irony is that the people who seem the most confident are often the ones who care the least about being noticed. They focus on their work. They focus on their growth. They focus on becoming better than they were yesterday. And because they are not chasing attention, they naturally attract respect. The Stoics taught that true confidence is quiet. It does not beg for recognition. It does not announce itself. It does not need an audience. Real confidence comes from knowing who you are, even when nobody is watching. The moment you stop asking the world to validate your worth, you begin discovering it for yourself. And that is the moment your life starts to change. Because your greatest source of power was never other people's attention. It was always your ability to stand firmly on your own. Part 4. Stop watching other people's lives and start building. Your own one of the easiest ways to waste a life is to become obsessed with how other people are living theirs. Someone buys a bigger house. Someone gets promoted. Someone seems happier, wealthier, more successful, or more admired. And before you realize it, your attention is no longer focused on your own journey. It is focused on theirs. This is a trap that has existed for centuries, but today it is more dangerous than ever. Every day, people spend hours watching the lives of strangers. They compare their reality to someone else's highlight reel. They measure their progress against people whose struggles they cannot see. And then they wonder why they feel inadequate. The Stoics warned against comparison because they understood a simple truth. The person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Nothing more, nothing less. The moment you begin measuring your worth against other people, you enter a race that never ends. There will always be someone richer, someone smarter, someone more attractive, someone more successful. If your happiness depends on being ahead of everyone else, you will never find peace. But something remarkable happens when you turn your attention inward. Instead of asking, "How am I doing compared to them?" you begin asking, "Am I growing? Am I becoming wiser? Am I living according to my values?" These questions lead to progress. The others lead only to frustration. Your life is not a competition. It is a responsibility. And every minute spent envying another person's path is a minute stolen from building your own. The Stoics believed that fulfillment comes from focusing on what is in front of you, your work, your character, your purpose, not someone else's. Because the greatest opportunities in your life often appear the moment you stop looking over your shoulder and start looking ahead. The people who make the most progress are rarely the ones watching everyone else. They are the ones quietly focused on becoming the best version of themselves. Part 5. Real freedom begins the moment you focus on your own life. At the end of the day, the greatest gift you can give yourself is not more attention, more approval, or more recognition. It is freedom. The freedom to live without constantly worrying about what other people think. The freedom to make choices based on your values instead of their expectations. The freedom to pursue a life that feels meaningful to you, even if others do not understand it. Most people spend years searching for confidence, but confidence is not something that appears overnight. It is built slowly. It grows every time you choose your own path instead of following the crowd. It grows every time you stop explaining yourself to people who are determined not to understand you. It grows every time you invest your energy into your own growth instead of seeking validation from others. The Stoics believed that peace comes from within, not from applause, not from popularity, not from being admired, because all of those things are temporary. Today, people may praise you. Tomorrow, they may criticize you. If your happiness depends on their opinions, your peace will never be secure. But when your happiness comes from your character, your values, and your actions, something powerful happens. You become independent. You stop living for an audience. You stop carrying the exhausting burden of trying to impress everyone. And for the first time, you begin living authentically. The truth is, most people are too busy fighting their own battles to spend much time thinking about yours. And that is not bad news. It is incredibly freeing, because it means you no longer need permission to become who you want to be. You do not need everyone's approval. You do not need constant validation. You do not need the spotlight. All you need is the courage to focus on your own life, to improve a little each day to stay true to your values and to keep moving forward regardless of who is watching. Because in the end, the people who find the deepest peace are not the ones who spend their lives seeking attention. They are the ones who finally realize that their energy is far too valuable to waste on what others think. And once you understand that, a new chapter of your life begins, one built not on approval, but on freedom. Conclusion. As we come to the end of this video, remember this powerful truth. Most people are far too busy living their own lives to spend much time thinking about yours. And that is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. The deeper lesson is that freedom begins when you stop seeking attention and start investing that energy into your own growth. Instead of worrying about who is watching, focus on becoming a little wiser, stronger, and more peaceful each day. Starting today, spend less time chasing approval and more time building the life you truly want. Focus on your goals, your character, your health, and the people who genuinely matter. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment below with the word freedom and share your thoughts. And if you enjoy content that helps you develop wisdom, confidence, and inner strength, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your support motivates us to continue creating meaningful videos that inspire positive change. Thank you for taking the time to watch until the end of the video. See you in the next videos.